Israel has been conducting a full-blown genocide and a campaign of destruction against the Palestinian people, and despite all of that, they're still getting all of the arms that they want. A recent confirmation report from Israel verified that Israel recently broke a record in getting military equipment. 1,000 planes, the 1,000th plane in the air train landed in Israel with a lot of military equipment, 120,000 tons of equipment, 1,000 flights, and 150 ships. Who are the countries involved in the operation primarily, and why is Israel getting so much weapons now, despite the fact that the genocide in Gaza de-escalated slightly in terms of direct Israeli involvement on the ground, and there's a declared ceasefire, there's a path for peace, like the American president says? Well, firstly, let's talk about the levels of this air train that they're talking about here. Again, 1,000 planes, 150 ships, 120,000 tons of explosives, of military equipment, of technological equipment. And this was run by the Defense Procurement Directorate in Israel, the International Defense Transportation Unit, the procurement missions, listen to this, in the United States and Berlin. The two main countries involved in this operation, alongside Israel, of course, are the United States and Germany. The Director General, who was seen in this video over here, this man, of the Ministry of Defense, Amir Bar'am, his name is. He said that over the past 2 years, the Ministry of Defense has been leading a tremendous effort to ensure the supply of combat equipment, industrial equipment, technology, and everything they needed to enable the IDF to fight and win. The 1,000th plane that landed today is another link in the strategic supply chain for the state of Israel. He said that the ministry's strategy rests on two main axes: strengthening the local defense production to ensure independence, alongside deepening political and security cooperation with Israel's allies around the world. Quote, "We will continue to work to be able to maintain such an air train in routine and emergency situations and strengthen the IDF with more combat capabilities." This is another evidence that Israel is planning something very big alongside the genocide in Gaza. If they exhausted the military operation, the ground operation in Gaza, and now they're still getting so much weapons, that means Israel is planning something bigger for the coming period, whether in the short term, medium term, or longer term. They're not viewing this as game over. They did not view this as the end, and they know very well that they did not achieve their military objectives in their multiple and many military operations. Now, the first country that we will be talking about, of course, in relation to Israel and its purchasing of more weapons and these air trains, this cargo that they're getting, is Iran. A recent statement that was made by the spokesman of the IRGC, Ali Muhammad Naini, mentioned that Iran is ready for a more complex war with Israel. Now, he mentioned a couple of interesting things in the statements that he made here, stating that a lot of what Israel says in relation to another war and its threats, and Israel is indeed threatening, is psychological warfare. He says that Israel is not ready for war with Iran. He said that Iran knew from Feb 2024 that a war is inevitable with Israel. They were preparing everything for a confrontation with Israel. And during the 12-day war, that was imposed on Iran by Israel, backed fully by the United States that later participated, although Iran had several losses of senior figures, they quickly got everything in order and responded within less than an hour. Now, although he says that Israel is playing psychological warfare games with Iran in relation to their threats, Iranian preparations are at their peak too. We've had multiple confirmations in the past several months saying that this was just another war before a bigger war erupts between Iran and Israel, and that Iran was ready to take decisive action against the genocidal entity of terror of Israel. So we have here clear evidence that Israel is preparing. Game isn't over. And all of this talk about countries having these embargoes and banning arms, nothing really substantial, primarily from the main suppliers of this entity of terror and barbarism: Germany and the United States. The United States first, Germany second, at least in terms of supply. However, if we're talking about even these arms coming from Israel, they would have to be transported by multiple or through multiple channels, which means that several other countries were involved in this operation, and not just the two main supplying countries. And although many countries deny involvement, although several countries, including Western countries, said that they have an embargo, an arms embargo on Israel, multiple investigations proved that they find back routes to supply Israel with the arms that they need away from public scrutiny.